Welcome to the Daily Review. This is Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CMTrading. Today is March 21st, 2025, and today is Friday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, really the markets are consolidating. But first, looking at today's major economic events, so 2:30 South African time from Canada, we have retail sales number coming out. Now looking at the market, starting out with the Forex symbols, the US dollar does strengthen versus the major pairs. We're going to take a look at that. And as we look at the indices, the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ really unchanged. And shifting over to commodities, oil bouncing from its supportish level and gaining to its almost upper resistance area and then consolidation. And looking at the stocks, bank stocks gain nicely. And lastly, looking at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin unchanged. So let's take a look at markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we go with the GBP USD. Now, this is a very slight correction. So here we go with the GBP USD. Now, this is a very slight correction. It's a very slight strengthening of the dollar, but it is strengthening. And it's towards the end of the week. And we may see some further strengthening today. And this is my point, okay? We saw the GBP USD go from 123-ish level, even a little bit lower than that, 121 up to 130. That's significant. Now, it is retracing about 30 pips, which is okay, not a big deal, but a couple of things here. Number one, we're hitting resistance-ish area, okay? About this 130-ish level, that's a round-up number. That is resistance-ish area. We hit just below it, but that is resistance-ish area. That's number one. Number two, there is usually a correction of about 50% after you have this type of move, ABC move. This is classic ABC move. I mean, you could see it 1, 2, 3, and then I would expect it to have some sort of correction, maybe down to the 125, 500-ish level. Okay, but that has to also trade in tandem with the Dow Jones. Now, looking at the other majors, yes, the dollar did get stronger versus the Japanese yen, but again, very slightly, nothing really to write home about. And lastly, the Turkish Lira. We saw some unrest in the political scheme in Turkey. That resulted in the Turkish Lira just, going out of craziness. Okay, 136 now up to 137. And it just does not give up. I mean, week to week, if we look at it, this is not a good sight for Turkey. Okay, and the reason of the geopolitical issue, it is what it is. We can't change that. But it's not going to help its foreign exchange if the Turkish Lira is continuously getting weaker. Now, jumping into commodities, let's take a look at crude oil. It got a nice bounce there, okay, and it broke from that, consolidation around that 67.95-ish level, but it is getting to a snag, and it does have resistance at this 30-day moving average, so keep that in mind. We're still in between that, and it's a choppy market, so nothing really to say, hey, buy me here, but you want to keep an eye on it. If it does break out or if it does falter, then it gives you that opportunity on both sides. Now, looking at gold, just a little bit of a retracement here to 30.29 from its high of 30.56-ish level. Okay, all to be considered. It is sitting on support, so that might be a decent place to pick it up. So could still work out. Now, looking at natural gas, faltering here and just consolidating at this upper range just below its $4 mark. Now, looking at the U.S. markets, didn't do much yesterday. I mean, this is a daily chart. You can see a tremendous, a doji kind of formation here for the 41.945. I would have expected it to have a little bit more of a push higher. We did get a little bit of a bounce, but nothing really to write home about. Neither did we get NASDAQ, also not showing some strength here. What is showing strength in the markets? Okay, so let's take a look at Bank of America. This is showing some strength. Bank of America, nice pivot to the upside, almost above its 200-day moving average, making its way back, all right? That's a big deal. If we look at JP Morgan, also got a little bit of a push higher, but the rest of the markets were really unchanged or even traded lower. So looking at Meta, it did trade lower. It gave us that bounce, but didn't sustain it. Whereas if we look at Tesla, it got a bounce yesterday, actually, but stayed green in the day, which is a good sign, which might seem to indicate that the selling is over, at least for now. Okay, if we look at a weekly chart, it's at almost its levels where it was around that $100 range. If it does break $200, certainly we could go back to 150-ish level, 120-ish level for sure. But with that said, just consider its current climate. A lot of happening with Tesla. Obviously, Elon Musk, attention in the U.S. government, or his intervention in the U.S. government, has affected the stock tremendously, and what the company stands for. I mean, if you've been keeping up to the news, they've even been, setting up a blaze to Tesla dealerships and Tesla charging stations, which has really, it's almost domestic violence, and this is affecting the stock tremendously. So with that said, with that entire picture all said, the company's also been struggling. It had a bunch of recalls on its Cybertruck. So, nothing is really working out smoothly, but I'm hoping that Tesla can get its act together to making some sort of a rebound. And this is the type of stock that makes those type of rebound. Now, if we look at NVIDIA, also just didn't trade much yesterday, 116-ish level, so it's all consolidated. And lastly, Bitcoin also consolidating here at that 84,000, not doing much either. So this is Fed Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.